This podcast is proudly sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service, and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 25,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. To get started, you just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences in therapy. That way, BetterHelp can match you with the right therapist from their network. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether it's via text, chat, phone, or video call. You can message with your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't the right fit for any reason, you can switch to a new therapist at no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from in-office therapy, but with a therapist who is custom-picked for you, more scheduling flexibility, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/upandin. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/upandin. You can get there by scanning the QR code on the screen or clicking the link in the description. Thanks again, guys. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Up and In Show. I'm at Cards and Culture on the purple couch. Got a guest with me. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, so I'm excited. Thank you, Maya, for being here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you guys will hear about her. Obviously, I'll do a little preview of the episode, but Maya's a superstar soccer player on the LSU women's soccer team. You guys are really doing some big things, I think, in the sport. You have a new coach, and you guys are turning the program around, so I'm excited to dive into that, but I'm excited to dive into who you are as a woman, and the things that make you you and made you successful. So why don't you give our listeners a little background of who you are in like a minute or two, if you can cap that.
Okay, so I'm from like Miami, Florida, like South Florida area. And, I've been playing soccer since I was 3 years old. I really feel like I was put into like a bunch of different sports when I was younger, just because my brothers were born when I was around 3, and they're triplets. So like it was, it was
You're
a lot.
You're the older sister?
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
Nice.
And so my brothers are like 3 years younger than me. And so I think my parents were just trying to find something for me to do because they had a lot of attention on them. And so I was in gymnastics, I was in soccer. My mom tried to put me in basketball. That was the worst one, honestly. Yeah. And so I just really loved soccer. And from there it was just,
Were you always good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually so good that when I was young and I played in the AYSO, like the YMCA league, one of my coaches literally came up to me. I was like, had to be like 5 or 6. And he came up to me and he was like, you have to stop like scoring goals. Like you can't do that. Like you have to give the girls on your team like a chance and pass the ball and whatever. But like I didn't know any of that when I was that young. All I knew was,
you told me to put the ball in the goal, exactly, and I'm doing my job.
Winning.
Yeah, exactly. What you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So you were good always. Yeah. Even
I was pretty good, but I wasn't always a defender. So
okay.
I played forward, and I was really upset when I had to go back to defender, but I was just better at it. So,
really?
Yeah.
So to walk me through, I'm still learning soccer a little bit, and the World Cup got me back into it, or at least. So walk me through. You're a defender, so that means you're not on the offensive side of the ball, or sometimes you do have it?
I play on like the flank in the defense, so it's like I'm like constantly going up and down the field.
Gotcha.
So I would say like when we're in offense, I'm doing my very best when we have the ball and we're attacking, I do my very best to get up the field and like support and do what I can. I would say from my position that like a lot of assists would come from my position, but as soon as we're defending, I had to run my ass all the way back to the goal, goal, and it's just a lot of running. But
that's what I was gonna say. It sounds like a shit ton of running.
But so I would say I play pretty much offense and defense, but primarily defense if you were to categorize my position.
Nice. All right, cool. I gotta pick up like this lingo and like figure out the game some more, because I feel like I like it and I've played FIFA and stuff like that, but it's just like I don't, when you don't know the rules of a game, you're not gonna be as locked in on it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of interchangeable parts depending on where you are on the field, honestly.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, so let's rewind it. So you have triplets.
Yes.
That's pretty wild. Are you guys all close?
Yeah, we're pretty close.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do they play any sports or anything?
One of them, actually, he's a freshman at a D2 by our house, and he plays basketball.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
And then the other 2 don't play sports, but...
They played sports growing up, though?
Yeah, and then, they just did their own thing.
Nice. So competitive household growing up, because I always, you guys are going at each other, like...
I have literally gotten to the point with them that it's just like once like an argument or like we're going back and forth disagreeing about something, I just don't even care anymore. I'm just not even about to do it because I know that like it's just gonna literally take up my whole day.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. That's awesome. So how old are you?
I'm 22.
22. So there was, what's that make them 19?
Yeah, they just turned 19.
That's awesome. Okay. Good stuff. I always like to ask people that have gotten to D1 level, you know, that kind of stuff, or professional. Hopefully you're going to play professionally and things like that. So I always like to backtrack it and figure out where that love of sport or that, you know, that desire or commitment to sport started. So it's, and with a lot of people, it's early on.
If I'm being honest though, like there was a big time in my life where like I just didn't want to play soccer anymore. Like,
really?
Yeah, like I wanted to quit so bad. It was like in high school, like I would say around like 8th grade, 9th grade, and like my mom kind of just, no, I don't want to say forced me, but she basically was like, you cannot quit this. And I was so upset and I really was about to quit. And then like she just pushed me through and I just found a new love for it. So
that's pretty cool. Was it burnout or you just wanted to do other things? You wanted to be a kid?
It was burnout, and it was like I was like everyone was going to high school and like people were starting to like do a lot of stuff, and because we were starting to get into the phase of soccer where like you're going to get recruited now and go to college, it's like we had tournaments every single weekend and practice every single day of the week. So like I was just like, you know, none of my friends played sports and I didn't. I just wanted to, you know, go out and hang out with my friends.
That's why I like to ask people about this stuff, because people see you, right? They have the phones and they just see you on the field, or they see you as an LSU student athlete, and they're like, oh, she's probably just, you know, hard, like just given this. She was a great athlete, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They don't understand those little sacrifices that it takes, right? And there was a time where you almost weren't a soccer player because of it and stuff. And that's the things that, you know, your childhood was different, but now you get to play a sport at a high level and make, you know, connections and network, and then hopefully play professionally because of it. But it's those little things that people forget about when you're 10, 12, 15 years old. That's like, damn, I'm kind of burnt out. I want to go be a kid. It's crazy. So what was high school like for you? Did you have a good high school experience because of that, or were you kind of like just tied up with soccer?
No, I had a good high school experience, and like my team was really good in high school too. Like the way the rules are now, it's like you can only play like club or high school. Like you can't play both anymore.
What?
But when I was in school, like you can play. Yeah, I don't know why they do it like that anymore.
Does it have to do with recruiting?
They just like don't want to, like, basically like if you're playing high school and club, like there's going to be days you miss practice and stuff like that. And I guess they just don't want to deal with that. Like, you know, they're going to be missing players for stuff. So I think that that's really why. But yeah, when I was playing, we were able to play both. And yeah, my high school team was really good, and you know, we never won the whole thing, but my last year there, we got to the championship. We ended up losing, like ended up losing by like a goal or something. But yeah, I was really heartbroken. Yeah, exactly. That's and good. I don't know if my team had ever gotten there before, but we were always really good. It was just like those last couple games, just always. But
did you have any other like D1 players on your team or anything?
Yeah, we had a couple. Nice. We had a couple really good girls. That's we were really a well put together team.
That's cool.
So I really enjoyed high school soccer.
How does like recruiting work for that in high school? Because I know how baseball works, but were there girls that were going to other colleges and then they just came and saw you at the school, or do you have to go on the circuit and that's what club is?
Yeah, but we don't. I know like a lot of sports, they kind of get recruited from high school, and that's not how it is with us. Like, if you're probably not going to get recruited from a high school game at all, ever. At least when I was playing soccer in high school. I feel so old to be saying.
Can you imagine how I feel? I was just about to be like, when I was playing and getting recruited, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm old.
But yeah. So if you're like a real good player and that's what you're looking to go play in college, and you're probably playing club, and they're gonna recruit you from like big tournaments, like recruiting tournaments.
That makes sense. It's kind of like the same thing for baseball. You got to get on like an AAU travel team or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they all go to those tournaments, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. That's cool. So walk me through your LSU recruitment. Were there other schools involved? Did you want to stay home? Was Miami in the mix?
Absolutely not.
No, really?
No, but it's not because I don't love Miami.
Why? No.
I
there was a face. There was something. Let's go.
Love Miami.
Okay, like the city, you mean, or the university?
Yeah, the city.
Okay.
Like I don't mind the university, but it's just like they were my first visit that I ever had, and I didn't have a good time. And it wasn't because of them or anything like that. I already knew that I didn't want to play in Florida.
Okay.
At the time, just because like I lived there my whole life, and like, you know, I just wanted to experience something different and be somewhere else, live somewhere else. I wanted to like basically like be really independent. So I wanted, so at first I wanted to go all the way to California. That was like what I wanted to do. Yeah, like I wanted to go to USC or something. Like I just wanted to be a Cali girl so bad. And yeah, but my mom was just like, that is way too far. Like, what are you doing? And thank God, because it was way too far. Because even out here sometimes I feel like I really miss home. But yeah, like I would say I don't want to say I'm an impulsive person, but like I feel like, like sometimes I can be impulsive. And when I was getting recruited, I basically like, I took like a bunch of visits to a bunch of SEC schools because that was like really where I was looking. And I took some visits to some non-SEC schools too, but that was really where I was looking. And I went to LSU, had a great time on my visit. The LSU soccer coach at the time is a different coach now, obviously, but at the time he was actually my coach for everyone does this thing, not everyone, but a lot of people do this thing called ODP, which is like Olympic Development Program. It's supposed to basically be like a track to like the national team possibly or stuff like that. So he was my coach for that for a long time. So like I already knew I liked how he coached and all that. So I literally committed like in like 9th grade.
Damn, you committed in 9th grade?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
And then I literally obviously stayed loyal and was committed all throughout high school. And like 2 weeks after signing day, he was like, yeah, I'm leaving.
Oh my God. Okay, so that was my next question. I'm like, that's got to be a crazy thing. I didn't know if he left while you were here at school already, or so it was so you had a chance to decommit and go somewhere else, huh?
Yeah, but like my mind was set on LSU for like years. Like I basically felt like I was already like, you had
to come.
Yeah, basically. And I was just like, you know, I'm gonna try it out, and if I really don't like it, I'll just, you know, I'll find somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Damn. So that must have thrown you on your ass a little bit coming in. You're just like, okay, so how does that work? You're waiting on the next coach to come in. Are they calling you guys to be like, hey, this is who we're thinking of? Or like, how does that, they're just like, yo, this is the new coach?
Well, we didn't get like a new coach right away because I guess because of like the timing of when he left, like they did not have time to like basically like, I don't know, get everything together. So we had an interim head coach and an interim assistant coach. And they were our coach for the year. And I guess, I don't know if they were trying him out or whatever, but they decided not to keep him. And and then we got Sean. Yeah.
And so walk me through, because she's badass, right? So walk me through a little bit of her background, where she's from, that kind of stuff. Because all I've heard are good things about her from other people so far.
She's from Europe. She's from Wales. She watches this. I totally know everything about her. So. But yeah, she's from
Wales. It was just like a little unique background. I knew it wasn't like the traditional U.S., you know, like or whatever. Yeah.
She used to play soccer. Like she was on the Welsh national team and everything. Like she was really good. Badass. And then I think injury is what kind of like ended it. But she was at this school called UCCS in Colorado. Okay. Like her first year there, she like, I want to say like got them to like the Final Four or something like in their in the tournament and stuff. And and then like, I don't know, she is badass. So
yeah, I love it.
And I never seen somebody talk the way that she talks. So
really?
Like, like she could convince anybody to do anything.
That's what I was just gonna say. But that's what makes a good coach, I feel like, right? She gets you guys to believe, or like whatever it is. So man, that's awesome. I've been to a couple games, and it just seems like her energy on the sideline is just awesome. Like she just seems like one of the like the
she really knows what to say like in all moments. That's cool. I would say. Yeah.
I feel like that's a good coach. I always say like, so my baseball coach at LSU, I don't want to say he didn't know X's and O's that well, because he did. He'd been around the game. He knows the game. But I think what made him such a successful coach was knowing his players and getting the most out of them and getting them to believe in themselves and like the program and something bigger than them, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And I think that's really what makes a good coach, is getting the best out of your players and stuff, like getting them to buy in and believe. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And so by no accident, right, you guys have had some pretty good years the last couple of years.
Yeah. So
talk to me a little bit about that turnaround, because was the program not doing that well before she came in?
Oh my goodness. My freshman year.
Okay, it was not
and I couldn't believe it.
You were like, this is college soccer?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And like I was like at a point where I was like, I can't stay here, like I need to leave. But I I was like just comfortable. Like I had made friends. I had a boyfriend. You know, like I was like comfortable where I was. So like I was just like, you know what, let me give the new coach a chance and at least speak to her and like see how everything is. So, you know, I did, and you know, that first year she was there, we still had a really bad season.
Really?
We still had a, like record wise, we had a really bad season, but I could tell like it was like night and day from like the team that we were the year before when she wasn't there. So like, you know, I just felt like, all right, sophomore year, bad record too, but like, you know, whatever. Like I just felt like she was like building something that was going to be great, and I wanted to be a part of it.
I love that.
And then like, you know, COVID happened and everything, but yeah, that was our first season with her. Was COVID.
Was COVID year?
Yeah.
Nice.
And so and then after that we just started rolling.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, because then you guys went all the way to the tournament, right? And you guys were top. I mean, shit, you guys were ranked
number 5 at one point.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that.
Really
was that last year, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, and then this year you guys had another great year and went to the tournament, right? Yeah, SEC tournament. Are we allowed to talk about the brawl that happened? No,
I don't know.
We don't have to.
We can.
We don't have to talk about it.
I don't mind.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't really
No, I just like to talk about, like, you know, a lot of people see videos and they don't understand the whole context of the situation, and they don't understand competition too, right? So I just like to say, you know, give you a little bit of like voice to talk about that situation and talk about maybe the things you learned from it, right?
Yeah.
And in those moments. But if people don't know what we're talking about, there was a little situation, was it SEC tournament?
Yeah.
Where Maya got ejected and got into it with a girl, but the girl hit her first, and we were watching it before we sat on the show. We can attach it in the video, but yeah, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I would just say like I
didn't say that. I didn't either. I mouthed it. I didn't say it all. Yeah.
I would just say like the tensions were really high, and like I was playing really good and she wasn't. So, and I'm sure that frustrated her, and I guess like I don't know like what she was thinking or what, but I wasn't the one to do that too. And I don't know. So I just think that like it was really like the heat of the moment. And I really think that she was like, cause like even though I played clean and it was a clean play and everything, I still feel like when I'm playing, like regardless, like defending whatever, like I'm a very aggressive, like, you know, defender. I would say like that's, you know, how I would say like in the beginning of the game, I'm really, really aggressive just to, you know, make sure that everybody understands that, like, you know, when you're around me, you know, you should be nervous. But yeah, I think that she had just had it with me. No, it was really all game that we were going at it, and she really hadn't had any success on my side at all. So I think that she had just got frustrated, and and I just wasn't the one.
No, I get it. Like that's why I like to talk about that stuff, because I think people underestimate. You know, you're a sweet girl, right? You talk to you in person right here and you get to know you. You're like, oh, this girl would never hit, you know, boom. But hey, get in competition. Somebody hits you in the back of the head.
Yeah,
you know what
it's
I'm
really
saying?
a reaction. Like,
it
was
is.
Really
That's
like
what I
a
was thinking.
split second. Like, I didn't even think about it. But like,
even her was a reaction, right? She was getting her ass beat and she just didn't know how to react.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I don't like, obviously, if it were to happen again, like at the end of the day, I just felt more disappointed in the fact that, like, you know, it's not about me. Like, it was about my team in that moment. I knew, like looking back on it, like if I would have thought about it, like I would have been like, okay, you know, let me just take this, because if I do something back, I'm gonna get ejected. We're gonna play with players down, and who knows what's gonna happen to her. And, you know, so it ended up like 2 of us getting ejected. It was just like, you know, I just learned that, like, you know, it's really just about the team at the end of the day. Like, you know, not making selfish.
Oh, I get it. And that's honestly why I wanted to talk about it, because I think people looking up to you, right? Like, yeah, it's badass to do that, but you learned something from it too. And you stuck up for yourself, but also you learned the lesson of that it's bigger. It's about the team. It's about winning and that kind of stuff, right? You saw that in the playoffs, in the NBA playoffs last year with or a couple years ago. No shit, this was, I'm old as shit. 2016, when LeBron and the Warriors were playing against each other all that time. There was a big swing in the playoffs when Draymond got suspended for a couple of days because he lost his temper, you know. And then they came back and they lost a championship because of that, you know. But people don't. I think people forget that we're competitors, you know, on the field first, and like. And it's hard to manage your emotions. I was a pitcher all the time. I'd be talking shit to guys and that's how brawls start, you know, and like things like that, and beanball and like getting hit and stuff. But that's part of the game, and you got to learn. But that's what I think, you know, competition brings out in us. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool to learn those lessons. So that's great. I'm glad you learned that lesson and you bounce back and you'll take that into your senior year and be able to pass that on to people. So what are you looking forward to the most of your senior year? You've been here now 3 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
Shit, that's
4
right.
years?
COVID. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Dang.
So this is your 5th year.
Yeah, this is gonna be my.
You are old.
Okay.
I can say that because I'm real old, so it was good.
I know I am old.
I thought you were gonna
So
say, yeah, I know
sad.
you are old.
No, I wasn't gonna say. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to, like, you know, I just feel like it's my last year and like I have nothing to lose or anything, just everything to gain. So it's just like the way that like I set up my class schedule and everything, like I really feel like I'm gonna be able to focus on soccer and like just training. Like I don't want anyone to be able to say that they worked harder than me, because like I just feel like, you know, like freshman and my freshman and sophomore year, I was not a happy girl. Like I was not a happy person, not even just soccer wise, just like everything. Like I just wasn't having a good time. And I kind of told myself like over the summer, between those years or after those years, over the summer before my junior year, I'd kind of like told myself, you know, like what if I just work super hard and fix the things that I can fix, like control the things that I can control, and, you know, and see like how much that helps like my mental and like how I feel about this place. Otherwise, like I wasn't gonna do it anymore here. And I just worked really hard. I fixed the soccer thing, like the things I had wrong in soccer, and obviously I could always be better, but I fixed like the things that were the issues really, and I just started working hard. I just started, you know, really locking in, not getting in trouble no more. And and like it really, I just realized like the work you put in is really what you get out of it. So
I love that. I think people need to hear that too, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think one of the things that I pride myself on, if you went back and asked any of my teammates when I played ball, was like, what do you got on Anthony Renato? And I feel like people would probably say good teammate and worked his ass off, like hardest worker. And I wanted everybody to always say, like, no matter what, like he didn't fail. If you fail, right, like that's going to happen. There's going to be failure. You're eventually going to be done with the game. But I didn't want it to be because like wasted talent or I didn't work hard, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Anything like that. So I love hearing that's like your MO this year. Just work hard, and that's what's fixed things for you too. So that's really cool. I want to backtrack a little bit though. You said your first couple of years at LSU were hard. I think a lot of
really
people
hard.
underestimate that too, as far as, you know, they see the finished product your junior, senior year. You're going to get drafted this year, hopefully, and everything, right, and play professionally. But they underestimate too the difficulty, the mental side of things, of moving away from your family, living away from home for the first time, making new friends, maybe not, you know, I don't know. I was from New Jersey. When I got down here, people weren't like me. Like, you know, like it was like country boys, and I'm like, I don't get along with these guys. It was hard, you know? So I'm sure, I don't know, maybe your experience was something like that.
Yeah, I would say that like, I wouldn't say like it was similar to like what I was going through in high school when I was like, oh, I just want to hang out with my friends and stuff. But like when I got here, it was like, all right, like my mom's not here. She's not about to tell me nothing. And like, you know, I don't know these people. I don't know my academic advisor. I don't know her. I don't know my coaches. Like, I'm just going to have fun. Like, you know, I'm in college, the best 4 years of my life. And so I just feel like I lost sight of the big picture when I was younger, like freshman and sophomore year. You know, I'd say like I just got distracted. Had a boyfriend, distraction.
But that's real. Like, I think people forget it.
It's really a distraction. Yes. Like, there's no reason to do it. Not that early. Not no reason to do it, but there's no reason to do it. Like, you know, I just got into college. I literally, like, it was just so, I feel like I didn't make many friends because I was just, like, kind of isolating myself. And, like, like, I just lost sight of it. So, it was really, really difficult. And, you know, being a student athlete, there's just, like, so many factors that go into, like, you know, making, you know, just doing well, like, you know, like staying eligible, like, you know, going to all your classes. They sending class checkers to your classes to make sure you're going. And, you know, then you got practice, you have meetings, you have trips, you have just everything. Like, it's just a lot. So, and it's like, sometimes we forget, like, we're in school, like, you know,
student athlete first. Like, they really emphasize the students sometimes, right?
And like, you know, we forget. I used to forget about that. And like,
my first semester at school was a joke. Like, my coach was like, "Did you go to any?" I was like, "No, I didn't." And he was like, "You have to." And I was like, I didn't know that.
I remember my freshman year. It was like my birthday. It was like my birthday, September 13th, you know.
September 13th?
Yeah.
I'm the 9th. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Virgo gang.
Let's go.
But, and it was my birthday, and I was like, I'm not going to class today. Like, I'm not going. Like, it's my birthday. And I was like, I'm just not going. And it was like 8 a.m. in the morning, and my academic advisor was calling my phone. And I was like, oh, my God, no way, on my birthday. She knows it's my birthday. And you sent a class checker to my class on my birthday?
That's cold. That's
like, what? Yeah, so then I just answered the phone, and she was like, where are you? Like, you're not in class. And I was like, I'm on my way right now. And I just got up, rolled out of bed and went. But like, yeah, it's just like, it's just like, if I wasn't a student athlete, like there would be no one going to check my classes.
Yeah,
like,
no,
you know, but I feel like we get a lot of benefits too, but you know, it is definitely difficult as well.
I think I remember, no joke, I didn't know shit. Like I was a kid from New Jersey and I thought I was coming down to this school at LSU and I thought everybody was going to do the work, you know, classes for me, all this shit. I didn't have to go to the school. I remember Coach Maneri was like, you got straight A's in high school and you got a 1-2 here. He was like, this is embarrassing. He was like, do you have any pride? And I was like, Coach, I didn't know that I was going to get a 1-2. I thought like literally they just gave me good grades. Like I had no idea. He was so mad at me. He was like, why would you think that? Why would you? I was like, I don't know. Like I was like, all right, I'll turn it on. I'll do better. I'm sorry. And so ever since then, I never had a semester under 3.0, but it was like that first semester, I didn't know shit.
Yeah,
I was
and
just like,
it's literally just a shock because it's just like, even in high school, I just felt like, like I did my work and stuff and I got really good grades in high school and everything. But like, it's just, I don't know, like it just wasn't, it was just different when I got to college. Like this, like, I just feel like I was able to breeze through a lot of high school. And like, once you get to college, you really have to learn how to study and stuff. And like, you really have to do all that.
You got to learn the finesse game a lot different in college than it is in high school.
Exactly.
That's what I tell people all the time. I was like, it was easy to finesse my teachers in high school, but in college, it's a lot different.
It's not happening.
Yeah. And some people like hate athletes too.
Yeah,
like,
I was just about to say that.
They're like, you're an athlete, you're going to have to work harder. You're like, why? What? No.
Oh, you're not going to be here?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Too bad.
So a lot of people think it's easier. And don't get me wrong. There's the professors that are super cool and they're like, I love sports and like they'll take care of you. But then there's professors that are just, I hate athletes. Like literally, you guys make my life miserable and I'm going to make your life miserable. And like, what? Why would you even say that to me? Exactly. Like, that's terrible. I'm not going to look forward to coming to your class ever.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, talk to me. This will be the last thing and I'll let you get out of here. You know, I never had this opportunity when I was in college, but you guys have the NIL, right? The name, image, and likeness. Talk to me a little bit about that. Has any, I mean, obviously we've done some stuff with Cards and Culture, but have any other companies kind of reached out to you guys and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, you know, a lot of the companies that reach out to me, it's like, I just want to make sure that like, if I'm promoting something and like putting something on my page and stuff, that it's speaks to like who I am, like as a person. Like I'm not gonna like go and like promote stuff and like do like you know, NIL deals and stuff just for like money and stuff. Like I'm not gonna do that because that's just not me. So it's just like sometimes like companies will reach out and it'll be like photo editing stuff or like like apps and stuff like that. Like they want me to post and it's just like I'm like, you know, if I'm like trying to preach body positivity and like, you know, loving yourself and loving your God-given face and all that stuff, like I don't want to like promote stuff like that because it's just like, you know, I don't want anyone to feel like they have to edit their pictures or do this or do that. Like, you know, so it's just like, I think that like, it's just hard. It's just hard because like I don't like have an agent or anything like that. Like once I go pro, like that's what I'm gonna be looking into. But as of now, like I don't. So it's just like, you know, it's difficult for me to maneuver around that. But it has also like I feel like opened up a lot of like doors where it's like I'm learning how to like communicate in like the business world really. So yeah, that's really cool. But I just try to make sure that like everything that I promote on my page or like do with NIL that they speak to me as a person and yeah. That's really. I
love that. I want to replay that. I'm going to cut that clip. We're going to replay it a ton because I think that's what I've been screaming since NIL comes. Like, don't get me wrong. There's going to be money thrown at you. There's going to be some cool shit that you guys are going to be able to take advantage of. But understand that that's momentary, right? Exactly. Like, you're a bigger picture. There's a bigger brand. Hopefully, a lot of you guys are going to do things beyond, well, you're hopefully beyond LSU in your sport, but then outside your sport too, right? So. I always say that diluting your brand just for a little bit of money in the short term ain't it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So no, I love that. And I think that speaks volumes to your character and who you are as a person and, you know, why I want to do stuff with you as a business owner. I think business owners know that, feel that and stuff like that. So it's really cool. I love that message.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Well, what else? What else do we want to leave the listeners with before I let you go? Anything coming up for this year?
Come to our LSU soccer games.
Are you guys going to be good? Are you guys preseason ranked? Let's go. All right.
Be good.
Just
I
checking.
don't know if we're preseason ranked.
All right. my LSU baseball team is preseason number 1 right now.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're going to be nice.
Yeah, you guys are going to be nice this year. So we're going to be nice, though.
All right, good.
Yeah.
All right, good.
If football don't carry us in the fall, we got it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys come out. You guys are always setting attendance records now and everything.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing good shit over there. And it's always fun coming to the games. I think I only went to 1 this year, but the year before I think I went to like 3 or 4. So I'm definitely going to put that on my schedule this year, a couple more games.
Listen, if people come to the games, we're going to put on a show every time.
Let's go. I love that. Love a show. All right. Thank you, Maya. I appreciate your time.
Thanks
Good luck this year and enjoy the season.